Transaction presets allow clinics to quickly apply groups of commonly used services, inventory items, and write-offs into a transaction. This is especially helpful when running promotions, such as a Facebook special, or when we frequently use standard bundles of services. Now, let's talk about the purpose of transaction presets. Transaction presets streamline our workflow by letting us pre-configure bundles of services. We can apply automatic write-offs to reflect promotional pricing, override standard case pricing with preset pricing, and standardize services and care packages across patients. Now, let's move on to the setup steps. To set up transaction presets, we log into the System dashboard, then go to System Settings and select Transaction Presets. Next, we click Add New Transaction Preset. Now let's look at an example. We name the title of the preset. In this example, it's Facebook Special Day 1. The Visible for Transactions setting makes the preset accessible when entering transactions from the New Transaction screen. This setting comes into play when we click New Transaction, type out the name of the preset, and it will pull up the pre-configured bundle of services. Then it will pull up the bundled services that we have set up in that preset. This functionality is also available on the provider SOAP Notes screen. If we go to the Notes tab, in the Charges box, we can type in the name of that preset. Let's transition all of this. Visible for Case Settings makes the preset available when setting default services in a patient's case. This setting is visible if we go to the patient's case defaults, and here we can type the name of the preset. It will pull it up, which will add those grouped services into our default service list. Override case pricing ensures that pricing and write-offs from the preset override any pricing already attached to the case. Now, we are going to go into an example of setting up a preset. For example, let's say our office runs a Facebook special. That Facebook special comes out to a total of $21. But that appointment is broken up into two separate appointments, and therefore two different groups of transactions that happen on those appointments. We have named our preset Facebook Special $21 Day 1. We use the search box to add the services that go along with this Day 1 appointment. The price column will pull the price at our system level. The price will reflect the pricing system, and then inline write-offs are for cash cases only. This column is not a place where we indicate insurance contractual write-offs. This is just about cash write-offs. For this promotion, since the total is $21, we are going to write off $29 as an inline write-off on the new patient brief. We also wrote off the total amount of the two X-ray services. This way, when the transaction preset is entered on a patient's ledger, the total patient responsibility will be $21. Under type, we select the inline write-off type. In this situation, we use location promotion. Now let's look at the billing for $21. So what that would look like is new transaction type in the name. Type in any part of the name of the preset, and we can see here the total is $21 for this group of services. This is because the write-offs are set up in the transaction preset. When a new patient comes in with this promotion, we can quickly add these group of services and the write-offs very fast and efficiently. We are moving around doing all of this, but for some reason, it won't save it. With the Facebook special promotion, when patients come in for their Day 2 appointment, that's when they receive their report of findings and their adjustment. But since they already paid the $21 at the first appointment, we wrote off the total price so that the patient is still only charged $21. So as we can see here, when we select the transaction preset, it adds our groups of services and includes the inline write-offs. To use transaction presets, we can use them on the provider's SOAP Notes screen by going to the Charges box. Depending on how our office inputs charges, we may want to use transaction presets on the provider SOAP Notes screen. If a patient has arrived, we can go to the Patient Chart screen Note the Charges box. If our front desk enters the charges, they can pull up the patient snapshot and click on New Transaction, or they can use transaction presets in the patient's case under defaults as a way to quickly add a bundle of services that are commonly used for everyday visits. When using transaction presets to set default services on a case, we wouldn't use that Facebook example mentioned earlier. If we have other services that are typically grouped together for a particular care plan, we can set up transaction presets for those and use them to set up a patient's default services in their case. Some key takeaways for best practices are to bundle strategically and create presets for common visit types, such as new patient visits or Facebook specials. We also want to review our pricing to make sure the preset includes accurate pricing and appropriate write-offs. Again, we need to remember this is not the place to include any write-offs for insurance cases. Write-offs should only be used for cash cases. Remember to name your preset. Use clear and specific names that are easy to recognize. This will help staff quickly select the correct bundle of services they need. Take a moment to think about which bundles of services or specials your clinic uses most often. Go to your transaction presets and set them up.